A title: Meeting Victims Where They Are At.
What would you say to advocates or victim service providers about the importance of an older victim being able to define success in their own terms, even in the face of decisions that we might not make for ourselves, like staying in a relationship with someone that's been abusive?
Menard, CEO, National Resource Center on Domestic Violence.
The concept of advocacy beyond leaving is one that I think the domestic violence movement in particular has done a lot of important thinking about over the last several years. When this movement began, when domestic violence services began to be created in the mid-1970s, the survivors that we particularly had in our vision were survivors who were desperately in need of a safe place to escape to. The experience of violence that was being described on hotlines and in other settings had us then create a set of services that were really designed to respond to that need that survivors were identifying. As we have continued our work over the last 30 to 40 years, and as, in fact, we've had some successes in the area of earlier intervention, getting information to survivors earlier in the course of an abusive relationship. That has had us be in touch with more survivors who are not looking for an escape from the relationship, but talk more about wanting the violence to end, but not the relationship, and are looking to us to help them in that. And that has required us to develop a set of strategies beyond leaving.
Vicki Ybanez, Executive Director, Red Wind Consulting, Incorporated.
The tools that we often have available to us tend to be focused toward a criminal justice response, or a response that tends to be more invasive. And we really have to hear what an elder wants. They have lived a very long life, and as they think about where they are at this point of their journey, they should be able to shape and define the next steps in their lives. And whether that's to maintain that personal relationship and work in ways to build in some safety protections for them, or if they want to seek outside assistance, all of that needs to be their choice. And when we look at the systems that are available to respond, they may not be the most effective for making changes for this elder. And we don't want to push an elder in a direction that's going to completely change their comfort levels, their lifestyle, and their choices.
Alice Ghareib, Director, Doves Program, Area Agency on Aging, Region 1, Arizona.
We do not advocate for divorce or separation. If a victim chooses to remain in an abusive relationship, that's fine. It's her choice. It's okay. Once again, we are there to support them through education, through age-appropriate resources. We understand that leaving is often not an option for an older victim, and we need to support that, and once again, build that into our programs.
LaTrice Hogan, Consultant, formerly Director, Milwaukee Women's Center.
When we're dealing with older women or older men and we talk to them about self-determination, we have to really remove ourselves, remove judgment. Oftentimes I tell advocates, one of the reasons why we're in a situation that we're in as far as providing service provision is because we're judging them by the decision we would have made or the decision we may have made for someone that we love. And so you have to respect the decision that they're making. Some older women are having to leave the home that's paid for. They're having to leave their neighborhood of support. Some of them, they're faith-based institutions. They're walking away. This decision could determine how they live the rest of their life. They love these individuals. They even love the individual that may have harmed them, meaning the intimate partner or the child. And disconnecting for some traditions is is not a choice. Disconnecting means that you no longer exist. How many people would be willing to walk out on their entire life? So sometimes we have to meet them where they are at that point and understand that who knows better than the individual that's in the circumstance. And we're just providing them with education. We're not saving anyone. We're providing education and resources for their life to be better, guiding them, navigating them, walking with them hand in hand, side by side, and sometimes walking behind them when they're making decisions. But it's not our decision, it's theirs. And we must empower them to make the best decision for their circumstances and the situation that they're currently in around the abuse that they're currently suffering.
Logos appear. NCALL, www.ncall.us. Terra Nova Films, terranova.org. Funded by the U.S. Department of Justice, Office on Violence Against Women and Elder Justice Initiative. www.justice.gov/elderjustice. A disclaimer. This project was supported by grant number 2014 AXTA K050, awarded by the Office on Violence Against Women and by the Elder Justice Initiative, U.S. Department of Justice. The opinions, findings, conclusions, and recommendations expressed in this program are those of the authors and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Department of Justice, Office on Violence Against Women, or the Elder Justice Initiative.